Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey, here for another review. This time we're going to be talking about what? P-Valley Season 2, Episode 2, you guys. Listen, I owe you guys an apology. I do. I was complaining a little bit last week about the episode being staged. I'm not doing it. I love this show. I have no reason to be complaining about it. So forgive me. This week is going to be complaint free because I loved this episode. And I feel like it was back to the original P-Valley. I still think the conversation that Clifford has with his auntie is a little shtickish. That part of the writing is a little shtickish because Clifford has this authenticity that I really love, but we're going to talk about it. Listen, we might get a little bit emotional in this episode. I'm going to try not to, but we might, okay? Because this was a good episode, and I will stand by Alfonso. Oh, I almost called his last name. Who plays Lil Murder? I don't know why we don't see this dude in more stuff. Like, I need to see him in, some ABC, Fox, NBC. I need to see him in some movie drama. Like, I need to see this cat a little bit more. He can act his butt off. Period. Okay? Because I am completely bought into the whole Uncle Clifford Little Murder love story. I'm completely sold out on it. It feels genuine to me. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Put it down below. But listen, this episode 2, is called 7 Pounds of Pressure. P-Valley is taking a turn. It's going to be a little bit more American Horror Story-ish. Just a little bit. Still stripper, still ghetto, but it's got some American Horror Story, Skeleton Key type feel to it. Y'all remember the Skeleton Key? It's got a little bit of that to it. So let's get going real good. Y'all remember that Autumn done went down there and put out a casting call for auditions for new strippers, and they wrapped around the corner, male, female, white, black, all of it, honey, dropping it, full splits, popping it, twerk, booty cheek, right? It's so much fun. You know what I'm saying? Holes, souls, and poles, right? Everywhere. Booty, rocking everywhere. Booty. Big L, I don't know. Big L is starting to look more and more like a prop character to me. This go round, he's got like on some 70s stack shoes, this striped shirt, this hat cocked to the side, and he got a cane, Where y'all get this Big L from? This is not the same Big L that barely talked in season 1 until the end. Something happened in that champagne room and everybody is different now. More importantly, Big L is broken. We need somebody to fix Big L. Can we get the original Big L back? So, like I said, he got this costume on. And he's talking to a couple of people that he think is fine, that's in the line, And we see the 3 seated judges. It's Mercedes, Clifford, and Autumn. Clifford is dressed to the nines. He got on an all red outfit. It looked like a bodysuit, but it's not a bodysuit. I can see that there's a bodice. He's got a bodice in the front. And then he's got on this red skull cap. It's sequined too. And then this red mask. But instead of it being a tight mask, it has the tendrils hanging down, like a like an old 70s curtain. Y'all remember the old 70s curtain that was made out of beads? He got on a mask like that. And he is giving us Grace Jones realness. I was like, I don't know how y'all continually let Clifford outshine y'all. If I knew Uncle Clifford was going to be in photos with me, I would always be to the nines. Because Clifford going to capture the flash bulb every time if you ain't careful. You be looking like a little stepsister he done pulled into the picture. I mean, we just here for auditions, baby. And he is giving it. He is slaying. All right. Grace Jones realness. So they do the audition. They run through the whole thing, and it's funny. It's fun. And Mercedes, even though she wasn't down for it, she gets to pick the 3 winners. You know, that's how they calmed her down and got her on board with this whole audition thing. So she picks, I don't even remember all the girls except one of them was called Big Bone, right? She picks Fairy Dust, this chick with purple hair. I call her Fairy Dust because she also is kind of like a seance, one of them people that's got like a third eye, and you know. And then Hades is a chick with red hair, and they work together. They strip together. So they got tricks and stuff they do together. So Mercedes picked both of them, and then she was about to make a third pick, but Autumn jumped up and picked Big Bone. She thought Big Bone was beautiful, and Mercedes was like, but she can't dance. She just got a body, but she can't dance. She ain't got no rhythm. So Autumn was like, forget it. I'll put her behind the bar. And she can make money behind the bar. You know, she can keep the men drinking. And, you know, they only got room for 3, right? And this is the 3. So Mercedes got to do new hire orientation with Fairy Dust and Hades with the red hair. And when I tell you they ghetto, and they disrespectful. Okay. Super, super disrespectful. But we gonna talk about it. Like I said, Mercedes protests, but before it's resolved, we also get to see one of the cowboys and Kyle boys and Andre walk in. Remember, Corbin went to drop off a bribe over at Andre's house at Mayor Ruffin's old houses, which is where Andre is staying. Went by there to leave him some money. So evidently Andre agreed to at least hear him out, at least see if he can earn that money, right? They there to talk to Clifford and Autumn. And so Clifford don't want to hear it. He has told Corbin he is no longer welcome there, and he meant what he said. Ain't neither one of y'all welcome in this building. Y'all need to get out, right? Hear us out, Clifford. Hear us out. Okay? and if you still don't want us here, hear us out. So we switch over to Keyshawn. Keyshawn is serving one of her masters, which is Derek. You know, she got several masters that she served. She getting him some lemonade, child. He out there talking to the sheriff. Meanwhile, while she getting some lemonade, I don't know why she didn't put a little Sugar Avery P in it. The way she was wearing that black eye. Now that black eye came out of the blue, but still, he wouldn't get nothing to eat or drink around my house. He would have to side eye it. You have to say more than grace. Cause understand, if you whipping on my behind, I wouldn't eat nothing. I wouldn't eat nothing. I wouldn't drink nothing. I wouldn't do it. I check under the toilet seat lid. Huh? Oh yes. All your underwear gonna itch. Your t-shirts gonna itch. Everything. I'm just telling you. You ain't gonna be able to rest over here. You ain't gonna be able to rest. Anyway, she making lemonade. His phone go off, and we see where he didn't get the job, the managerial job he applied for. It said, unfortunately, we went with another candidate. And she don't say nothing. She go back outside and she sit down and she act like a concerned person because Derek want to press charges against Diamond. But he can't press charges against Diamond because the police is telling him, the sheriff is telling him, they don't have no proof that this happened. It ain't on video nowhere. Ain't nobody talking about it. We talked to him, he don't know what you talking about. Like, let it go. This is over. So the baby crying, Derek go inside, and the sheriff continued to talk to her. And she was like, well, I'm glad we could put this all behind us. But when she was sitting there with Derek, she was acting like she wanted this ruffian locked up too, right? She got to play this part because her man is violent. The sheriff also asked about Autumn and if Keyshawn knew Autumn's real name. She ain't no dummy. She might be a fool in love, but Keyshawn no snitching. I don't know if she know Autumn last name, but she know not to be in there talking about Autumn business, and that ain't what you came over here for, sir. You tried it though. So shout out to Keyshawn for that. We see where Mercedes is doing her new hire orientation. But the old gray mare ain't what she used to be. That shoulder is giving her the business. And so Big L is there and he watching the whole thing. And the girls are being super duper disrespectful and telling her she need rubbing alcohol, all of that. She's sending them on their way. And then her and Big L get to talking about old Master Autumn. And there's a lot of ominous shade being thrown towards Autumn. Not just here in this episode. Not just from our characters. But I'm hearing a lot of reviewers say they don't trust Autumn. But Autumn is the one that saved us last year. Remember? She's the one that came up with the money when she could have been out of town with that money. But she put it on the Pynk. Now, I don't know if she put it on the Pynk because she ain't had nowhere else to go. Because they helped her kill this man that was abusing her. They defended her and protected her. I don't know. But it kind of feels like news to me that nobody trusts Autumn this season. I don't know. I don't feel it yet. Now, I didn't really start to feel it until towards the end of this episode. Before that, I was just lost on me that nobody trusted Autumn. I'm like, because Autumn came through on a pinch. On more than one occasion. She came through with the money, but she also was kind of trying to help the girls out in little ways here and there. So it was just news to me now to hear once again somebody talking about how Autumn can't be trusted. Anyway, Corbin and Andre are there. And Autumn and Clifford are looking for more girth. Okay. They come in with what they think is big peen money. They calling it big peen money. You know what I mean? Big ick money, right? And it's long, but it ain't got girth. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? It's about balance. You can have length, but without girth, are you really making any real difference? Are you? I don't think so. Anyway, they looking for girth. Financially speaking, of course. Okay, Corbin comes with a measly $500,000 offer to buy Pynk land. Everything. Buy the whole kit and caboodle. And he's like, oh, that's 15 times market value. But Autumn, who's a smart girl, says value is one thing, worth is another. I said, you best preach, Autumn. You best preach, Autumn. Okay. Value is one thing, baby, but worth, what else, is another thing altogether, right? Two separate things. Clifford breaks it all the way down. Y'all trying to scoop the Pynk up for cheap. Come on, Clifford, tell it. Okay. In case the casino. Okay. I still may be pronouncing it too thoroughly. To casino. I can't do it like he do it. It's still a go. In case the casino is still a go. And you think we should be impressed despite the fact that you tried to steal it out from under us not too long ago, not 5 months ago. Now you coming and trying to make us believe, oh, you doing us a favor. You trying to get this property in case the casino come back. You working on getting the casino to come back, right? And then you going to scoop this property up for cheap. No, Autumn say we want 10 mil. 10 mil? You've lost your mind. You're begging, you filthy whore. And you have been on your knees begging for dollar bills. This Corbin. And Clifford say, listen, we done all did some things on our knees. Don't act like before your white daddy died, you wasn't out here rubbing 2 food stamps together, right? Corbin, he gets gathered by Clifford repeatedly. You know, they old school buddies, right? He gets gathered by Clifford repeatedly. Clifford shut it all down. He shuts it all down. Go ahead and gather your paperwork and get your stuff and get up out of here until you coming in here and talking about millions. Don't talk to me about buying my property, buying my land. It ain't your land. It's not your property, Corbin tells him. They on their way out the door. Clifford walking off. He don't want to talk about it no more. It's not your property. You're only partial owner. And Autumn is right behind him. And, you know, they got the flyer for the grand reopening, right? Clifford noticed while Corbin is talking and that the party is in 2 days. No, the party's supposed to be next week. These flyers is wrong. Autumn is like, no, I changed it. And then Corbin looks at the flyer and say, and it's on your 40th birthday too. Clifford is like, oh, you know what? You a low down piece of meat. You a low down piece of meat. He was mad at Corbin for mentioning his 40th birthday because Autumn was none the wiser. And Clifford wasn't going to talk about it because he's not happy where he is at 40, at this place in his life. So he didn't want to mention his birthday, right? Plus they got a lot going on in this COVID and yada, yada, yada. So he was so mad. He was like, if you don't get your chicken cutlet out of here. Autumn was like, it's your birthday? He was like, we cannot have a grand reopening by Friday. We don't have a DJ. We don't have this. We don't have that. We still doing preparations. This was supposed to be next week. Autumn said we got to bring money up in here now. We can't wait till next week. We got to get this money now, right? People are chomping at the bit to come out. I don't know why they don't just have like a soft opening. Why it need to be a grand opening? Like, you know what I'm saying? You need to train your girls and everything. Your new girls. So, it's just a big mess. They got a lot going on. Meanwhile, we get to see Patrice Woodbine. She got a commercial out there, child. This gave me a headache. It's one of them commercials like a car salesman where they are like, where's Loganville? Y'all in Georgia, y'all remember Maxi Price Chevrolet, where's Loganville? Child, there's so many people living in Loganville now. It used to be the sticks, but now it's so many people living in Loganville. That's what the joke was. Everybody was like, where's Loganville? Well, this her slogan, where the blessings reside, where the blessings reside, where the blessings reside, where the blessings reside. This her slogan, like a car salesman. One of them catchy slogans that you always remember. This is what Patrice doing, and she's on TV. This is a commercial on TV that Clifford's grandmama is listening to. Patrice bringing in enough money where she can do TV spots. All of this Mercedes money. Everything she doing it off Mercedes money. Every penny that them people give her, considering she stole that money and stole that building, it's Mercedes money that they giving her. That's money that's owed to Mercedes. She's doing just fine in the middle of a pandemic. I hope they go to robbing. If they need some money, I don't hope they go to robbing. But if they do go to robbing, or if they do need some money, they need to go around there to Patrice Woodbines and check up under her mattresses and see what she got, because she seemed like she doing real good. I want to see her get mollywopped again. That's all I want to see from Patrice Woodbine in this episode, is for her to get mollywopped. I can't stand that heifer. Anyway, this is my favorite scene. Clifford is at home with Auntie, and he is venting. He's venting about Autumn. His auntie is with that. You need to, I don't know why you don't just kill that heifer. But you know, your friend, your wife or your husband come home and he complaining about somebody at work, you supposed to be on their side. You can't be on that person's side. You got to side with your spouse, whoever your spouse is, right? And so that's what Auntie is doing. She's hearing Clifford out, and he mentions the 40th birthday, and he's saying he got Autumn on his back. It's his 40th birthday, and he ain't had no pain in 5 months. And she said, Grandma say try 13 years. I was like, oh girl, I can't believe it. Okay, so there's a knock at the door. Clifford done stormed off, child. He done went from venting to having a full-on temper tantrum. He storms off. Granny go to the door, and it's a little murder. He got a mask on, and he's standing a ways off. She say she can't hear him. Take that thing off and talk to me. I ain't seen you in I don't know how long. Where you been? And they hug and everything, and he's talking to her, and she's asking him some questions, and they just shooting the breeze. He hadn't really got around to why he was there. Then he was like, yeah, it's Clifford here. And she said, Clifford? He was like, yeah, I wanted to talk to him. At that time, Clifford done creeped up to see who was at the door. He done heard his man's voice. Okay. And he get up and go to the door. Now, when he go to the door, he go behind the door. And opposite to the door opening is a mirror, right? And so little murder, Granny in the door, little murder on the other side of the door, and they talking. This is the door, okay? She got the door open, Clifford behind it. They standing here talking, and there's a mirror over here. So while he talking to Grandma, he see Clifford behind the door. He talking like he talking to Grandmama, but he talking to Clifford because he can see Clifford. It was like Love Jones, Waiting to Exhale, Love and Basketball, Disappearing Acts. It was just one of those super duper tender moments where he can see Clifford. Clifford don't know that he can see him. He behind the door listening. And he said, I just wanted to talk to Clifford because I said something and I went too far. I was wrong and I owe him an apology. I didn't understand at that time that I was wrong and how I was being disrespectful to him, but I understand now, and I just want to give him my sincerest apologies, right? And Clifford is on the other side of the door with his hands on the door like, I forgive you, but he trying to hold on. He trying to hold tight to it because he's so afraid. Like, here's a person that could really, really steal his heart. Here is an individual that he could fall head over heels with, like blind, the point of no return type affection. And it's scary for Clifford, but at the same time, that is the sweetest thing anybody has ever done for old Clifford, and I could feel it. I could just feel it just in the authenticity, like it, you guys. I think it's J. Alphonse. J. Alphonse, I'm telling you, this guy is a tremendous, tremendous actor. And I said it from season 1. He's from him wanting to get up out of things, out of the ghetto, him playing the role of a drug dealer, him playing the role of a rapper, him being vulnerable and transparent and afraid, but still very masculine energy. You know what I mean? Like you can really see his struggle. He, you know, becomes that character. J. Alphonse becomes Lil Murder, right? And it comes across as some of the most authentic acting. This scene was as touching and as sweet and as tender as anything you'll see from Love and Basketball or Disappearing Acts or Waiting to Exhale. Any of these shows, Queen Sugar, it was just this really intentional moment, and it was so good. It was so good. And once again, season 2, they're the couple that I'm rooting for. They're the couple that I am rooting for. And it's because of J. Alphonse. I said it before. I mean, the actor that plays Clifford does a wonderful job too. But man, this guy, J. Alphonse, emotes, man. This guy is unbelievably good. We get to see where Andre has been named executor of the Ruffin estate. And so he has to hang around. I told y'all he wasn't going back to Atlanta. He is not going back to Atlanta. She shouldn't have. That's why she didn't want to leave, because she knew he wasn't coming back no time soon. So he's telling his wife he can't come back anytime soon. Meanwhile, he notices water hoses running from Mayor Ruffin's house. He follows the water hoses around the neighborhood. They've been split off 7 different ways. The whole neighborhood just about getting water from Mayor Ruffin's house. Okay, because some of them was so behind in their bills, their water got shut off. Okay, and even though he tried to help them as mayor get their water turned back on, some of them was so far behind it couldn't be done. Now, we know they can do anything they want to do if they want to do it, right? But okay, let's go with it. So, he go back and go through all the bills and find out that Mayor Ruffin is a Robin Hood kind of ninja. He's been paying $10,000 a month water bill on his own home. You know, not paying it, but you know, making it work so everybody can still get water, but they get it from him. Instead of them having the bill, he got the bill. And so Andre was like, oh, this is so he old Robin Hood type of ninja. I was like, oh, okay. Now none of us could stand Mayor Ruffin. Now, why we trying to sell Mayor Ruffin as a, okay, that's fine. No problem. We also see where he goes and pulls a videotape and puts it in. And it's a videotape of Mayor Ruffin encouraging Andre as a child. And it is this tape that gives him the courage to make up in his mind that he's gonna stay here and he's gonna do some things in Chucalissa. Okay. Oh my gosh. Derek, who go with Keyshawn, he is truly insane. Now, Keyshawn is, like I said, she a fool in love, but she ain't no dummy, you know. And she is working his crazy behind, because now she done already called and told Lil Murder that she's gonna do the 12 by 12 crazy dozen something dozen 12. The tour is 12 shows in 12 days, basically 12 weeks, something like that. And so she knows she got to get him ready so she can leave the house, because she's got 2 kids with him, and she gonna have to leave them children and go on and do her thing. And he's already fired up, right? He's already fired up because he can't get Diamond, you know, locked up by going and playing Karen, being a male Karen on Diamond, and he is trying to control her. Now that he know he done lost the job, now she ain't said nothing to him about it. We just waiting to hear what he got to say about it. this moment with her and him where he found them diapers she done hid. I don't know why she wouldn't go get them diapers out, but anyway, he found the diapers. This why you went to the dollar store, because Diamond worked at the dollar store. And she was like, listen, I just needed a little fresh air. Now, in this scene, she got a black eye. With the sheriff, she didn't have a black eye. She was pretty as a picture. Now she got a black eye. He holding her and hugging her and walking up on her, and she is scared. She is terrified. I cannot imagine living with someone that terrifies me in that way, where I'm scared to say anything. Like, I don't see how people do it. I think the Lord, God's grace and mercy, there but by the grace of God go I. I'm so grateful that I don't have that mindset. But anyway, he goes and calls down to the dollar store and complains about how Diamond was talking crazy to Keyshawn and roughing Keyshawn up. Keyshawn just said that because she didn't want to seem like she was Team Diamond. But basically, he was, roughing everybody who didn't have a mask up. Get out of here, go get a mask. So she did that because she didn't want Derek to think that she was feeling Diamond, right? She was trying to calm him down. Now, he can't beat Diamond, so he done called around there and got Diamond fired from the dollar store as the security at the dollar store. And he tell Keyshawn she ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't leaving the house. She ain't stripping no more. She ain't going back down to the Pynk. What she gonna do is stay there and make that money in that house. Child, I don't get it. She need to run for her life. But like I said, she is not stupid. She's learned how to work Derek. She learned how to work Derek. And she has made up in her mind that she gonna get this money and she gonna get out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see where Keyshawn leaves Derek this episode. I hope that's what happened and it ain't on some old for colored girls who with no. I don't need that. I don't need that headache. I'm not here for that. So we see where little Murder is on his way somewhere. They're gonna do the tour in this vintage hearse, right? They're gonna go because his thing is he's murder, and they gonna have these 12 different murder nights basically with Keyshawn dancing, and all they got is the hearse, so they gonna work it into the whole tour theme of the tour basically. And they having this conversation. His friend, old boy that work at the funeral home, is driving, and Murder is in the back. And they go to the penitentiary area to pick somebody up. Little Murder think that they there for him because he's starting this tour to just reflect on where he came from and just lock into that spirit that, get hype spirit, right? Look where you came from. Started from the bottom. Now we here. Type mentality. And the dude is like, no, we're here to pick up security. He's like, security? What are you talking about? So they go get Lil Teak. Lil Teak come out of there and they play Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whipping work, hallelujah, right? That's what they playing as he walk out. I was like, ooh, who is this girl? Who is this guy? He looked like old boy who played in The Perfect Man with Sanaa Lathan, and Morris Chestnut. He also was the mentally unstable man who was in the service on For Colored Girls, something in the Rainbow, whatever it was. I walked out of that movie. He played in that too. This what Lil Teak looked like. He got that blondish beard, blondish colored hair, kind of like D-Ray, kind of. I don't know what he done played in before, but when he came out of that joint and pulled that mask off, I was like, oh, he don't look too stable. Listen, him and Lil Murder hugged up, and they was chummy, and they had their little fans, they had their dap, you know what I'm saying, and snap and pop and hug. But when Lil Murder turned around, the look on his face was like, not this motherfucker. Ooh, the look on his face, you could tell this not what he wanted. I don't know if they had a relationship in the past, and he don't need this right now, or if this guy is always the catalyst for the cops being called, or them being locked up, or being in trouble. Like, he might be tick tick boom, you know what I'm saying? And if he tick tick boom, then Lil Murder don't need this right now. But when he turned away from that guy and just spent it, turned towards us, the look on his face was like, this. I'm telling you, J. Alphonse can act. Period. It's no reason, dude, you shouldn't be working. I'm telling you, it's no reason you shouldn't be working consistently. Like, man, it was very subtle. It wasn't this huge gesture, but that little spin and the look of worry and slight fear and disbelief on his face in those few seconds, it translated over very well. It was a powerful moment. Yet another J. Alphonse powerful moment. Okay, so now we got Teak, Lil Teak out out of jail. Okay, and Murder happy, but he not happy. Okay, we see where Rome, who runs is Keyshawn's manager. Keyshawn tells Derek that let's just talk about it. Let's just have the conversation. Let's have Rome come over and tell you what we're doing financially here from what we're doing from the house. So Rome comes over, and basically Keyshawn has tea, slim tummy, flat tummy tea. She sell lashes. She sell waist trainers, beaded neck, tahine fruit. Like, she sells hot pickles. You know what I'm saying? Pig feet and Kool-Aid. Like, she sells everything, and he running this empire. And so he's talking about how great they're doing and how great the tour is going to do, and the tour is going to be great. And what she does is she plays devil's advocate before Derek can jump in and say, this, that, and the third. She doesn't let him get worked up. She goes ahead and drops knowledge on Rome. She was like, am I getting part of the door? I'm gonna pay for my own hair, makeup, board, room, everything. It sounds like I'm gonna be breaking even. This tour is not even really worth it for me. It's not. And Rome was like, what? You the one, the tour was your idea. The Dirty Dozen tour was your idea. And she was just, he didn't say that, but he was looking at her, and she was like, you know what? Let me think about this. This doesn't really seem feasible. Let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go and work the numbers again. Again, she's a fool in love, but Keyshawn is not a dummy. She know business. She's had to hustle and take care of her 2 children, and this man, this good for nothing, this low down. Okay. She's had to work all this time, and she's had to make it work. Okay. She ain't no scholar, but she ain't dumb. She what they call country dumb, right? Yeah. She don't look like she know much, but she's smarter than you think. Okay. So Rome, of course, goes out, and he goes and gets in the back of the hearse and talks to Teak and dude that work at the funeral home, and see Lil Murder. Do not start calling him C Murder, Miss Honey. Don't do it. It's Lil Murder. And they trying to understand what's going on. And basically what Teak is saying is that if we don't have Keyshawn, Mississippi, Lil Murder gonna kill it. He's his superstar. He's the headliner as far as he's concerned. He's the one that's gonna bring make this tour a success. Whether we have it or not, we got him, and that's all we need. Basically, we betting on Lil Murder bump the Keyshawn. Keyshawn, meanwhile, she done text Rome and said, "Thank you, I appreciate it. I got it from here. See y'all later." And they pull on off, and she's standing there in the door, right? This is all to work Derek. This is all to work Derek. She know he ain't got that job. She know he ain't got that job, which means she gonna have to keep working in order to keep them afloat, right? But she need him to be calm. She need her going out on tour to be his idea, right? It can't be her idea. It's got to be his idea. And so she telling him about they need to get the AC fixed, and they need to get a new crib for so-and-so, and a big bed for so-and-so, and this and that, and all these things he need to get, even though he don't have no job. And he was like, "I didn't get the job." And she was like, "What?" And he was like, "I didn't get the job." She was like, "You know what? I told you to trust me. You can trust me. You know you can trust me. We want us a house. We want us to be together. And in order to do that, I need to make money. And I can make money doing this tour. You know, and I just need you to trust me. Trust me to take care of us. Trust me to take care of you." Meanwhile, she done climbed on top of him, honey, and got it positioned and got it up in there. And she doing what she do best. She riding that pole, baby. She riding that pole. And you know what I'm saying? Outside of being sad and the fact that he got his hand out because he ain't got a pot nor a window. Okay, he was like, "You know what? You can go on tour. That sound good because we doing this for our family. We got the sacrifice." She was like, "Yeah, you can trust me." Next thing you know, she done got her stuff packed up and together, baby. She's on her way on tour. She on her way on tour. She worked it. I was like, yeah, what I would have did was I would have got my children together too, but she gonna go do this tour. And while she's doing this tour for the next 12 days, I promise you Keyshawn is gonna be figuring out how she can get her babies up out of that house. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So man, this was a good episode, you guys. So anyway, Clifford is still sulking, even though Lil Murder has come over and pulled at his heartstrings and gave us one heck of an apology. Okay, we have all forgiven Lil Murder. Okay, but Clifford is still sulking, and he gets kidnapped. The minute he gets kidnapped, I know what's going on. It was fun how they did it, like it was something spooky and scary going on, but it was just his girls. You know, his guys and girls kidnapped him and took him to a skate birthday party. They had put it together, baby. That party looked like it was everything. I wish I could still skate, but I can't skate no more. My knees too bad. But listen, skating is all the rage. Y'all know skating coming back hard, right? And it's so funny because skating was all a poor child could do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was our party. That was our going out. You had to go to the skating rink, and it was like $5 getting the skating rink. And you could muster up $5 throughout the week in order to get to the skating rink. It was you know what I'm saying? And now it's all the rage. Like, people paying $50, $60 to get in skating rinks. It's crazy, right? So Clifford had a great party. They did him up, even though they kidnapped him in his robe on his way, getting him out of the trunk and taking him blindfolded into the party. He's doing all this confession to the Lord about everything he's done, including chopping the man up, Montavious up in the champagne room. And they was like, "What was you talking about?" He was like, "I was kidding with y'all because I knew it was y'all kidnapping me." I was like, Clifford, we're gonna talk about him. So they done kidnap him, and he's got this big party going on. Meanwhile, there's a DJ there, and because he's still feeling very tender about what Lil Murder did, he's having a lot of fun, but in the spirit he sees Lil Murder. You know what I'm saying? Then what you call coochie delusions. He was having coochie delusions. You know what I'm saying? Like your coochie was throbbing to the point where you was being delusional. You know what I'm saying? Vaginal. He was seeing vaginal apparitions. You know what I'm saying? His coochie was, you know what I'm saying? It was making him see things. It's a DJ there. And it look a lot like Little Murder, but it ain't Little Murder. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. He thought he saw Little Murder. And even though, you know, he knows that this guy isn't Little Murder. When he, you know, blinks a couple of times, he knows that he's not Little Murder. He'll do in a pinch, you know what I'm saying? He a pinch hitter, you know what I'm saying? He one of them, he'll do for now ninjas, okay? Even though he's not 100% happy and not in this really great place, which one of his girls points out to him, that you picking everybody else because you're not happy with yourself, right? And it's true. And even though he kept the moment very anti-intimate, right? He wouldn't let the guy kiss him. The Little Murder looked like he did let the guy go down and do the that George Dome. Okay, let him hum on it. That's what he did. Sometimes you just got to take a little pressure off, Clifford. You ain't got to go all the way. Sometimes you just got to take a little pressure off so that thing don't blow up on everybody, okay? Meanwhile, Autumn over there at this haunted behind strip club, child, and everything is willy-nilly and higgly-piggly and slightly set on fire. It is a disaster because Clifford had decided since Autumn wanted to do it by herself, she wanted to make up the rules as she go. Go ahead, sis. You run the re grand opening, but you'll do it without me. He over at his birthday party, okay? And Autumn over here, like I said, things just going just crazy. You got the Big Bone on the bar dancing instead of making drinks. You got girls out here with their boyfriends in the crowd, the new waiters and waitresses, and the girls around there supposed to be, you know, drumming up money and getting the money out of these guys. They around here arguing with their baby daddies and stuff. It's a mess. It is a mess. And Autumn gets a chance to see just how much Clifford does around there. And you know Big L ain't no help. He the one got the fire set over in the kitchen because he in charge of weed wings now. But thank goodness for Earth, Wind, and Fire. Now Mercedes is fire. She on her own pole. Earth and Wind is the purple fairy dust. The girl with the purple hair. The one that is, you know, acting like she read cards. She's a seance reader. And Hades, the one with the red hair. Now, they both really do believe in you know, voodoo and, you know, whatever else. So they been seeing stuff around, and Mercedes kind of been buying into it, but not really. And she sees them over there on their pole, and it's the height. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the night. Like, got Earth, Wind, and Fire, baby. And then the boys is throwing money. And the girls is over there. They got each other. They up on the pole. They riding each other body and, you know, playing off each other. And one on the bottom and one on the top. And they spinning and you know, just doing all the tricks and stuff. And the guys are like, hey, let's go over there. Now, Mercedes is the headliner. But when they see these ladies popping off over there, I mean, just giving it non-stop, right? Like going hard in the paint. And they started walking. She, you know, goes into competitive mode. She finna show them how it's done. You know what I'm saying? She Mercedes. She the one all the boys come to see. She not finna let these newbies, these young girls show her up. So she go all the way to the top of the pole. She can barely make it now because with every pull, that shoulder is giving her the business, right? It's really hurting her. That's why they kidding with her about rubbing alcohol, because that shoulder is really bothering her. She get all the way to the top and she go to do her spin, and she does a beautiful job. At some point, she cannot hold herself any longer off to the side with that shoulder, and it just gives out from under her and she falls They show her falling in slow motion, kicking her legs as she fall. I was so glad they didn't show her hit that floor. Oh, I was so grateful. She wake up, she in purgatory. I said purgatory, child, because when she wake up, it's all types of foolishness going on. First of all, Clifford is there. They got her on a table, and Diamond is there, and Diamond is the doctor. Okay, like I said, this is purgatory. You ain't woke up in the hospital, okay, with light and bright. No, you in purgatory. You not in heaven, you not in hell, you somewhere in between. Especially if Clifford, Autumn, and Diamond is there, and he working some type of seance on your shoulder, trying to figure you out, trying to figure out what's going on with you. I don't know why they say they can't take her to the hospital. Maybe because she can't afford the hospital. But this is what's going on. Okay? And so Diamond starts doing this thing where he on her body, you know, just feeling it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, working the magic. I was like, this is some... I don't know if you can get up, sis, but you need to get up and get your behind into the hospital. Don't be let nobody, don't listen. Don't do it. Don't do it. So he does this thing where he rolls her over on her side where the shoulder is, and he goes down and he feels the shoulder and he snaps, and oh, she's in pain, and he snaps again and it goes back, and he was like, yeah, here it is. So he does something, you know, I thought he was gonna do, and he snapped, and she yells, and he gets something he done caught in his hand. I was like, Lord, these charlatans. This reeks of charlatan. He goes over to a scale and drops the invisible things on the scale, and it go to 7 pounds. And Mercedes was like, oh, it feels so much better. What did you do? He said, that's 7 pounds of pressure. The only thing I know that takes 7 pounds of pressure that you had on your shoulder, because she kept saying how her arm was just heavy, heavy, heavy. And he said, you had 7 pounds of pressure. This thing is 7 pounds. The only thing I know takes 7 pounds of pressure is pulling a trigger. Now, we learning stuff. We learning that Clifford and Big L cut the body up. We learned just now that Mercedes is the one that pulled the trigger to kill Montavious, right? And we also learned in this scene that it was Diamond that got rid of Montavious' body. Now, Autumn, it's like, what are you talking about? What's going on? What are you talking about? Mercedes is like, this is your fault. This is your fault, Autumn. You brought all of this to our doorstep. You know what I'm saying? You're the reason why we're all going through this. Autumn sees Montavious' ring in like this, you know, finger ring. Sees it in like this little shrine. You know how sometimes when you go into the nail parlor and they got like a little Buddha shrine with an apple and they done lit an incense and all of that. That's supposed to be like their little prayer shrine or something. This the same thing Diamond got put together, except it's got Montavious' ring at the, and he's saying the spell that he got, that he working with this ring is why nobody knows about it. That and the fact that he know how to hide a body. Okay. That ring is the only way we're not going to get caught. The only way we're not going to get caught is if I keep this ring and I keep working the magic that I do know. I was like, what? He also says that he can't come back to the Pynk. It's just better this way because he, even though he got fired from the other job, he can't come back to the Pynk because he don't really want to show his face around there given what went on. All y'all got to do, Autumn, Big L, Mercedes, Clifford, Diamond, all y'all got to do is stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. That's how ain't nobody gonna find out. Don't talk about it to each other. Don't talk about it to others. Don't pray out loud about it. Just don't talk about it. Period. That's how no one's gonna find out. Y'all stop talking about it. And you spray paint that room black. That's how you not gonna get caught. It don't have nothing to do with whatever hoodoo you putting on this in this little shrine. But we're hearing doors creak. We're seeing apparitions. It's going into full American Horror Stories type thing. So Autumn is like, come on, Mercedes, let's get you home. And Mercedes is serious. She is serious. She said, you know what? I think you should leave. Come on now. I haven't found a place yet. Mercedes, don't do this. This is what Autumn say. She said, no, I've sacrificed enough for you. I need you gone immediately. I need you out of my space immediately. I need my place back because I just don't trust you. I don't trust you, and I don't trust what you bringing to the table right now. I was like, oh, these people really don't like Autumn. So we see where Keyshawn done worked her magic and them hips, and she got Derek to consent. We see where Autumn is now staying at the club. I don't know why she got pajamas on. You just squatting for a little while. Why do you have pajamas on? You need to be dressed and ready to move at any moment. Ma'am, you don't need to be out here in your lingerie drinking. She going to the bar and getting drinks and coming back, and she decides she gonna dance on the pole a little bit. Meanwhile, she walked past the security screens, and we keep seeing the ghost of Montavious flashing on the screen and near the pole in the champagne room on the security screen. I was not afraid. I wasn't afraid at any point at all. Like, okay. It does add for some suspense, right? So, she decides she gonna do a little dance, and she dancing, and here comes a man walking up, and it's supposed to be Montavious' ghost, but it's really Andre. Who else was it gonna be? You staying there, you walking around your lingerie. Why this man could just walk up in here, I don't know, but okay, Autumn. So he walk up as she gets started dancing. She want to know what the heck he doing here, because she a little bit two sheets to the wind. And he tells her that he appreciate her for talking him into staying for his uncle's funeral, and that he's the executor of the will. And she was like, yeah, but if y'all don't come with some girth on that offer, it's nothing I could do to help you. And he was like, I'm sure we can work this thing out, Autumn. And she, scoots up on him and hugs him around his neck and gives him a little, they didn't show him kissing, but still, it's clear that they're getting intimate. Okay, so you drinking and pole dancing, and Montavious' spirit is trapped in the champagne room. Andre show up, and they talk about her potential for being the owner, and the potential for her to take the offer. She want the potential for the offer to have more girth, an emotional hug. Okay, I see now why people say you can't be trusted, Autumn. I see it now. I see it. But remember, in season 1, it seemed like she was going to gather her stuff and run off from everybody and just leave everybody high and dry, and she didn't do that. I'm hoping this season is the same way, but I do see the way Autumn moving that she cannot necessarily be trusted. Autumn is not a team player. She doesn't come from a team mindset. Okay? She has to look out for herself. All right? She did have a child, but as far as she know, her child has passed on, was lost in the hurricane. So I'm going to give Autumn some slack, but I do see why people say they don't trust her. Like I said, Keyshawn and the boys have loaded up in the hearse, baby, and they on their way for the Dirty Dozen tour, and we get to see that on next week. That was the episode, you guys. Did you all like the episode? I loved it. The moment with Little Murder and little Murda and Uncle Clifford was so good. I really, really, really loved J. Alphonse as Little Murder in this episode. It was really good, as well as Clifford. I enjoyed it. I equally as much enjoyed Keyshawn's role, Mississippi's acting in this. The actress that plays Keyshawn in this episode, she gave me a lot of authentic energy as well. I'd like to know who you all really liked in this episode. Please put it down below. I apologize for the video being late, but yeah, I was at the pool all day yesterday. And I don't regret it. Listen, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Okay. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe if you're not. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll holla.